seconds. It'll dissolve on its own. It should anyway. Wow, here we are, Dr. Ebony. We are in the live space here. How are you doing today?
We
What
are definitely in the live
is
space. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to this conversation today, Dwyane. Thank you so much for partnering with me on such an important and critical conversation in today's world. I hope that not only the two of us enjoy it, but also our viewers as well. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, outstanding. And tell us about your company because you have
Yeah.
humanity first.
I do. Humanity First was birthed this year, 2025, and it is an ode business to the AI revolution that we're in. So I come from a background, Dwayne, of 20 plus years of leadership development. And so I wanted to couple that with my whole premise, my morals, my values that compassion, empathy should lead. And I want to be able to go into organizations and let them know that humanity is first, right? But we're also here helping you shape and transform through the power of AI. So that's where that name comes from. Thanks for
That's
asking.
amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And see, we are taking our lunchtime, y'all. We are taking a lunch break, y'all, to come into this conversation. And we're going to be doing this conversation today, next week on the 25th, and then we're going to do it again on the 3rd of
Absolutely.
December. So be aware, we are really having this conversation because as Dr. Ebony just said, we gotta do something with this AI, but we gotta keep the humanity in it. And I love her name there, humanity, but you got the AI standing out bold. So that's outstanding. And
Thank you.
listen, we got a couple of things we want to talk to you guys about. But at the end of this, you have a QR code right there. If you want to contact or connect with Dr. Ebony, you can do so. All you got to do is click on that or get that QR code. You'll be ready to go there. And I'm the CEO of Skill Vibes, skillvibes.net. Skillvibes.net is dedicated to helping people after they discover their tag, their talent, their ability, their gift, and they want to put it into the earth. How can we use AI to magnify that? You see, AI magnifies your voice. It amplifies your voice, but it doesn't get rid of your voice. And we want to make sure we're doing that. But we were talking, Dr. Ebony, we were talking about what's happening in our world with people losing their jobs left and right. We're talking about how individuals who thought that, they can come to work the next day found out that their entire departments was dismantled.
Yeah.
We saw Accenture get rid of thousands of people. And the two of us just in separate worlds had this idea. And then we came together and said, let's have this conversation. So where do you think we should start on this conversation?
Yeah, so much has gone on, Dwayne, and it's all happening so fast, right? Even the two of us, we hear so much from our mentor in the AI space that, we're moving at the speed of AI, and that is correct. And that's what's happening within the business world. So I think possibly where we should start, Dwayne, is where the mindset is right now, right? There, we both know that there's this level of fear that's out there that individuals are grappling with. So I think it might be important for us to really start there and talk a little bit about what that fear looks like and how we can mitigate and really conquer that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And the fact is, there's so many people that are fearful, but they don't understand the fact that fear is this false evidence appearing real. And
That's right.
everything that you fear usually looks worse than what it actually is.
Yeah.
And I had an article that I posted just this week, and it talked about even people that are the older population in the workforce, they're looking at their time to retire and everything like that. But some of them are not ready yet. But there has been a lot of intrepidation around AI and how it's taking our jobs and things of this nature. And what we say is, it's not going to take your job. It's going to take the job of the person who doesn't understand how to leverage AI. But the fear, what are some of the things you think is causing that fear? What is happening with that mindset, in your opinion?
And like you said, it's definitely a mindset, right? We talk a lot about that fixed mindset as opposed to growth mindset, and AI is right in the middle of that. We have so many individuals who just don't have that. They haven't built that bench strength of confidence. And to be in this AI space, it is so important that you bring both that confidence as well as the competence, right? Going back to your comment about the generational part, right? It doesn't matter how old you are, we're all available to be AI fluent, to be AI literate. We just need
Mhm.
to be able to have the confidence to make that happen for us. So I think that's what's going on. A lot of individuals are just fearful that they don't fit that mold. But I want to make sure everyone hears me loud and clear. We all fit the mold. We all do. We just
Yes.
got to be confident individuals.
Yeah, and what happened is everybody, this hit every age group. It hit every company, and there are companies right now struggling to position themselves. You had some early adopters actually do it without training. They didn't have their staff really prepared, and so the staff is making all kind of mistakes when it comes to utilizing and figuring out how to use AI. And that's why we're consultants, because we know there is a way that you have to talk to the technology, and the technology will give you what you want. But the technology is not the main thing. The main thing is you.
That's
You are the driver of the technology. And I like how you said that. AI is definitely outpacing readiness. And so when we think about getting people prepared, we have to get the mindset straight, right? So what are some of the strategies you think we should employ, or leaders need to employ, when it comes to, like, let's get this mindset together?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is what I'm seeing a lot of is leaders are really underestimating the emotional damage that they're causing by not getting themselves AI ready, right? So we're starting to see that burnout culture happen where so many individuals are coming to the likes of the two of us and saying, "Hey, Dwyane, hey, Ebony, I am I'm fearful of losing my job, or my job is putting so much pressure on me to be AI ready, but our organization hasn't given us the tools and the processes to get AI ready." So one of the biggest things that I try to cheerlead and motivate with individuals is get yourself ready, right? So get out there and get exposed to the tools that are there, even if that means on a personal level that you start utilizing the likes of Chat GPT, Claude, Perplexity. Upskill yourself if that means you have to do it behind the scenes, or if you have that type of leader in the organization, hopefully you do, where you're having these types of conversations, you can say, "Hey, I have some ideas. I have some amazing tools that I've been playing around with. May I show those to you? Can we see how we can implement those?" So it's getting yourself ahead of the curve by, familiarizing yourself with what tools are out there so that you can have that confidence, that competence that we talked about a few moments ago, Dwyane, to be prepared with what's happening in this workforce. I would tell individuals wholeheartedly, get yourself ahead of the curve as opposed for waiting for it to be in your lap, because
Yeah, I love
what's
it.
happening.
Because people were waiting for permission, and you cannot in AI world, because the AI is so fast and it's going so quickly. You cannot wait for permission, you guys. And I love what you said. Upskill yourself, right? Don't wait for someone to give you a sanction to say go upskill yourself. You can upskill yourself by just starting with ChatGPT. I do a workshop called the ABCs of ChatGPT, right? And take them through utilizing A, B, C, D, E. And then you mentioned, Dr. Ebony, Perplexity, Claude. You do not have to know the whole scope of all this stuff. You just need to know the scope of your work. And then also, when you're positioning yourself inside your organization, so I'm talking to you leaders, you have people that's inside your organization. You don't need to go outside. You can create opportunity internally, where you bring people like Dr. Ebony, myself. We come in and we actually show your staff how to use it for the things that they do. And then you'll start seeing this exponential time save. And when you see time save, money save, right? And we're going to save you time, energy, and money, because we're going to help you get there. So I love what you just said there, Dr. Ebony. And here's another thing, guys. This whole idea of being exhausted, it is very exhausting trying to stay ahead of this AI curve. So get in it and just flow with it. What do you think about that type of engagement, Dr. Ebony?
Yeah, I love exactly where you're going with this, Dwayne. It's a two-part conversation, right? So there is this level of fear, but we need to have these conversations in our organizations that, guess what? I too, leader, I too am nervous. I have this trepidation about where we are with AI. So employees, I hear you loud and clear because I'm right there with you, right? I want to make sure you know that I understand that this is new. This is our new reality. Let's have a conversation about what we can do to get our workforce ready, right? We keep hearing about this future ready workforce. So are you having those conversations, not just with those at the top leaders, but also with your staff as to what can we do to make sure that you're future ready? Are we looking and analyzing the roles that we currently have, right? Because as you and I know, Dwyane, right now, so many organizations are going from this execution to making sure they're really getting into this orchestration, right? They want to make sure
Yes.
they're going there. So you're not seeing, gone are the days, when HR, which is my sweet spot, right? We used to have individuals that were policy writers. Well, nowadays we're looking at them as talent strategists, right? You're starting to see that in titles. So are we reevaluating what roles are out there, how we're going to make sure they are ready for 2026 and beyond so we can get ready for this future evolution, revolution that we have that's here for AI. So I really, really believe conversations amongst all is so important. What are your thoughts on that, Dwyane?
Yeah, I mean that's the key, right? And leaders, small, even large, you need to be knowledgeable of what is happening in the AI space, not just what's going on with the investment side of it, and what Nvidia is doing, but what is John doing down the hall, right? And John down the hall could actually probably show you exactly how to utilize these tools. And so who is in your periphery, right? Who is in your immediate contacts? That's important to you as a leader, And then when people, you send them off to go get training, you send them off to go to these conferences, you send them off to learn this stuff. And then when they come back, you got to have a way to identify how good are they with what they came back with. And, some type of assessment tool, some type of starting tool, something that says, hey, we're here and how do we get there? Remember, we're aligning the gaps, and we need to have alignment with the gaps because of, even though AI is going fast, we don't want fast adoption. Not in the case of we forget and miss parts like training our AI, training on our own products and services, our own policies. And as you mentioned, Dr. Ebony, the policies are changing so fast, we got to utilize a system that will help us be agile with our policies. And so that's what I'm thinking that we need to do. Go ahead.
It makes me think about right now, the biggest risk is not moving, right? Like you said, we don't want to go lightning speed, but not moving is a huge
It's a
risk.
huge
And I
mistake.
think
Yes.
so many organizations need to hear that, I get it. Analysis paralysis, you want to, try to figure out every angle before you make a move. But unfortunately, as you are doing that, your competition is already far ahead of you because they're getting their workforces ready. They're bringing in AI slowly and surely, right? I would rather you start bringing it in and having an understanding of it as opposed to not doing it because you're sitting and you're stewing and having that analysis paralysis hold you back. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You mentioned this when we were talking off air, applied fluency, right? You can't just be fluent. You just can't learn it. You have to apply it. And the only real way is in real situations.
Well,
It's very interesting that people are trying to like come up with these use cases that are like outside the organization. No, we need you to be able to look at your current work and say, okay, where can we use this? And it's not going to be for everything you do.
that's right.
I want to say that again, leaders. It's not, AI doesn't fix it for everything. And you have people who have exorbitant amount of knowledge, and that base of knowledge can be leveraged inside an AI tool. Or you have a new person who needs that person that has that knowledge to connect with them. Well, you can also take that information, put it inside an AI tool, and have that individual learn from that AI tool so they could be just as ready or fluent moving forward. Because AI literacy is also one of the areas we want to make sure that we talk about. Because if you're not if you're not prepared to understand how it works, and I'm not saying What is a large language model? What is a natural language processing? What is a GPT? What I'm saying is that you got to know the language that you speak with the work that you do so you can put it to work for you and not against you. So, Dr. Ebony, I know you got something on that
You
part.
hit the nail on the head because right now, that AI literacy, that AI fluency is so critical, right? My path, my background is all about interpersonal skills. I firmly believe that right now, the new power skill is soft skills, right? So, in
Definitely.
immersing that, aligning it, intersecting it with AI, right? So, going in, thinking about my business, humanity first, going in with that human first lens as to how we solve decisions, right? Also, your critical thinking, right? When you're utilizing AI, again, we want to make sure everyone hears us. And you said this a few moments ago. It's not about AI replacing you. You still have to be there. You have to be the soul of that, right, Dwyane? So when you're going in and you're asking things of AI, it needs you to ask it. But guess what? You want to make sure you're doing it from a critical thinking lens. You want to have powerful questions. You almost want to be the coach as a human behind the scenes, because that's going to give you a greater output from your AI systems that you're using. So it's so important that you bring those interpersonal skills that you already have, those soft skills, to the table in these organizations. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're nowadays. People are like, wow, well, what are organizations hiring for? AI fluent individuals. If
Yep,
you can
yep.
speak AI, and it's like you said, not that you have to know it, but you need to be able to speak it. Can you speak it? Can you tell me how you can include this into your role, right? And you're going to win people over by being able to do that. And the more that you continuously use it, the more you will become an AI power user yourself and get your organization future ready.
I love it. Power users. Let me break that down because you got I came to my organization 5 years ago with AI. 5 years ago. And today we still don't have a full policy for moving forward. So I had to go and still keep it going. So I decided I'm gonna be the subject matter expert so that when they open the gate, I am the guy that they come to because I know the information I have is solid. It wasn't overnight. It was years. And it was taking the time to learn one tool at a time, one tool based on the work that we do, based on the outcomes that we have, based on what we need to serve our customer with. So you could take just one thing that you do, emails. How many people get stuck in email traps where you're just searching, searching, searching? Well, I know that you now probably have a Microsoft product, so you can use Copilot. If you have Microsoft, you can go ahead and leverage that. Okay, maybe you don't have that. Maybe you got Google products. Well, guess what? You can use Notebook LM and take some draft that somebody gave you that you kind of confused a little bit, put it into the notebook, and the notebook can give you 4 different modalities for you to learn that information. I mean, it actually gets down to like cards that you can study. It's absolutely madness what it can do in seconds that would take your staff days and decades to do. And so take the time to figure out what is my thing that I do and what part of it I would outsource, right? What part of it would I give to somebody else to do? That's the key. When you're able to give it to somebody else to do, that's going to relieve you from it, right? But if you train them, if you just, if I say, here, take my keys and go park my car,
Right.
and I didn't say where to park the car, what the situation is, and nothing. And it's just some kid just randomly walking down. Go park. It's not going to happen right, right? So we got to give it the right instructions. So in day 3, Dr. Ebony, we actually talk about and we actually give some actually examples and we show some tools in action. But before we get there, one of the things you also mentioned was this exhaustion that could happen from the confusion. What we want to do is reduce that confusion. We want to help you as leaders, help you as team leaders, help you as new employees, help you as employees that are struggling, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my job. How you can take the time to take a breath, breathe, and then go at it differently. You cannot solve today's problems with yesterday's information. We got to get updated with the information of today and then solve the problem with today's information. What do you think about that?
You said a mouthful, Dwayne. So many great things. I want to go back to a point about that context piece. I don't want to lose that. When we are working with our AI tools, everyone, it is so important that you give it that context, right? So you are the power user behind that output that you're going to get from your chat GPT. I had a conversation just this weekend from an individual. He's a leader in his organization, and he's trying to get his staff to understand he's already there. His brain is, I know when I'm
Adopted it.
talking to,
He's ready to
right,
go.
he's ready. He's locked and loaded, but he's trying to figure out, well, how do I get my staff to understand that we can't just ask the AI, like the example you gave earlier of, what color is the sky? We need to give it a little bit more context. Why are you asking me that? Feed it a little bit more information. So I did want to piggyback on that comment to reinforce how important it is that we are providing context. The stronger the information that you provide these chat GPTs, the Claudes, and so forth and so on, the better the outcome is going to be. But then I want to go back to your at the end there, you made another big comment there, Dwayne. We have to be ready, and we have to start doing spoonfuls, right? For, kind of
Yes.
give a little bit now, start doing something now, really getting our culture ready for what's not already here. So we need to get excited about it. We need to make sure that we're having the right conversations amongst the board, not just at the top, right? It needs to be all the way to the bottom as well. Because if we want a future ready workforce, well, all of us are in the workforce. It requires all of us to be future ready. So those conversations are super critical to have. I also want to go back to the comment about that mindset, right? It's so important that we're also having those conversations about mindset. Pick the brains of one another. Where are you at in this, right? This is where we start talking about how can we get to an AI successful organization. We were talking offline earlier, Dwayne, about how we can bring in confidence or competence, right? Bring in the both of those,
Both of
and
those.
clarity. When we combine those two together, we're going to see that success, right? So we're going to see individuals actually get ready to be a part of that future ready workforce. Organizations will also be able to propel themselves into that formula, if you will. That's why I created that AIQ framework, where I'm looking for individuals to say, hey, Ebony, what can I do? How can I make sure that not only I have the confidence and the competence, but my team does as well? Reach out to me. I have an AIQ framework, and we can talk more about what that looks like and do an assessment to get you there.
Yeah, I think that's again one of the key structures, right? If you can have an assessment, you can find out where are you? Where
Yeah.
am I? I mean, think about it. No matter what destination you start with, you always got to know where you are first before you start taking off. If I'm trying to get to California and I just go north, I don't think I might go make it. I might make
Good
it.
luck.
It's gonna take me a minute, right? So it's like I gotta know where I'm at in relative to the space that I'm going to. And we're training to where we're going and where we are because it's happening so fast. We're guiding them toward that. And I love what you said about this readiness, because people think that readiness is having all the information you need so you can now take off. No, you're getting readiness, you're preparing, and you're getting information, and you're moving. You're taking those baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. At the same time, you're putting it into play, putting it into play, putting it into play. Next thing you know, you built your competence, right? You said confidence, competence, right? You got to have both. You can't get one without the other. You got to have confidence and you got to have confidence, right? And then if you get clarity, that's the magic potion, right? Clarity is the thing. I mean, oh my gosh, I've been spending 30 hours a week doing this one thing when I could do something over here and now take that 30 hours and give it back to my team. Oh man, how amazing is that? Right. So Dr. Ebony, we're about to we're coming to the end. It's like crazy, right? And how much time just goes by so fast. There were three things we talked about. Number one, AI is outpacing readiness, right? So we got to get people ready so that they don't get left behind. And I heard someone say, real friends don't let their, colleagues and friends get left behind in the AI revolution, right? Fear, confusion, exhaustion. We talked about that. That old adage of fear, false evidence appearing real. Understanding what's really happening, right? and not looking out there to what's going on. And I really want to say this to leaders too. Your HR department might be thinking about, okay, we can cut this person, cut this person, cut this person. I would say hold off on letting people go. Bring in someone that can help bring everybody up, and then make your decisions going from there. Because we don't need to get rid of jobs. What we need to do is augment the people that are there with the tools that they need. Look at you jumping out your seat. Go ahead.
I mean, you are hitting the nail on the head again, right? Right now, it is the time to ensure keep your talent. Your talent is already amazing. No need, and we all know how much it costs to bring in new talent. Keep them, get them prepared. The biggest mistakes that we are seeing is so many organizations are making too many rational decisions too quick, right? But not realizing you have great bench strength right around you. You have a lot of people who already have this AI fluency in them. You just need to be there to help build it out, right? I can't say it loud enough. Right now, the biggest risk is that decision part, right? We have to be careful with our decisions and that unpreparedness as well. If you are unprepared, AI is going to go right past you, right? You got to get yourself prepared.
And here's the thing: AI will ride right past you if you're not prepared with the right thing. Because
That's
you
right.
said that too, right? The fact that you got to have the right information. You could have information all day, but is it the right information for the work and for the whatever you do? If you're in and I'm gonna give an example. Somebody sent me a notice. They was like, hey, Dwyane, I'm working on my backyard. I'm gonna get my backyard done, and I'm really trying to figure out like what it's gonna look like. And I said, well, do me a favor, send me a picture. I said, matter of fact, if you can send me 2 or 3 different angles, send me that, and then let me take a look at it. And they sent it to me. And I was able to actually help them design,
Wow.
develop, and have a full program that they could walk into their Home Depot or their warehouse place or whatever and actually do a makeover, renovation of their entire backyard. And this was from just an image, right? But I was able to show them, hey, listen, if you clear this area out and you put this over here and you do this, I'm not a landscaper guy. I'm not a designer, but she will now be equipped when she walks into that place. She's going to save $6,000 just on having a plan.
And you
Because
know why, Dwyane? It's
go
because
ahead.
you are AI fluent. You have that AI literacy that we've been talking about. You have that confidence, and hopefully, right, that you have instilled in her now that she was probably blown away by what you
Like,
did
oh
by
my God.
picture. He was like, is he a landscaper? I didn't know.
Now I did have a little prior knowledge. I used to own a company back in the day. When I was in my 20s, I had no need for weeds lawn care service. So I had a little background,
A little something.
y'all. But but it was fun. I just said, let me see what I can do and put it together, including the drawings. So yeah, literacy, fluency, understanding that your staff, I love what you just said also, Dr. Ebony, you know, keep the talent that you have and just elevate them, move them to the next space. How much is it you get somebody in and they don't fit the culture? You get somebody in and they don't like the work.
Money
You get
wasted.
somebody in and all they want is the money. They don't want the actual job. Go ahead.
I was just going to say money wasted. It absolutely is. And I
Yeah.
see we're getting close on time. So I know we
Yes.
get excited. We could keep going here.
We
That's
have
the
a
good news
passion for
is
this,
we have a
y'all.
part two and a part three, and you never know. It might be a part 4 or 5. We could keep the
Yes.
conversation going. So
Yes.
I just want to close by saying I look forward to part 2 where we can really talk about that workforce transformation, that gap that's there, what that looks like, help answer and dispel any myths that are there as well. So this was amazing, a great first conversation, Dwyane. Really looking forward to what we can do in part 2.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. We talked about scenario-based learning and helping people learn through a scenario-based. We talked about hands-on prompting and how does that work? Like they can practice. We can give them some homework, right? We can give them some ways to execute some things, and then of course, understanding your workflow, right? And so, yes, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about these things, and you might have a question. You might have a comment. Put it in the description. Put it in the comment section. Let us
Please.
know if you're on YouTube, because this was a simulcast to YouTube. It's simulcast in LinkedIn and simulcast on Instagram, and Facebook. So wherever you're seeing this, all right, we
We're
need
connected.
your input over the next couple of days. Because what we're going to do, we're going to gather those questions. We might, Dr. Ebony, we might spend time just answering questions next week. We never know, right? Because we've
Never know.
decided we are all in on AI. We don't want anyone to get left behind in the AI revolution. And this is our time. So I want to say thank you, everybody. We got to go. Uh, and Dr. Ebony McClinton and Humanity, right? You got Humanity First. You guys reach out to her, skillvibes.net, reach out to me. But this has been a pleasure. Thank you guys. And we'll see you soon. All right. So we got to go, but take care, you guys.
Thanks, everyone.